Welcome back to another Adventure News Flash Update. Today we're talking about Honda's NX500. Is this just a CB500X in a pretty dress, or is this a faithful resurrection of the NX name? Let's find out. Channel integrity is the most important thing to me rather than pandering to brands. And I've seen other YouTube channels covering this, some of them quite large, saying that this is more than a branding exercise. Unfortunately, I have to disagree. I'll be honest with you guys, this is most definitely a branding exercise. This is a CB500X in a pretty dress. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I want to be honest, because if we look at the facts here, the NX series was a more off-road capable series of bikes with a cult following that had long travel suspension, a 21-inch front spoke wheels as well, and was far more skewed to the dirt than this current NX500. Honda could have easily just called this the CB500X and nobody would have batted an eyelid. The engine, the suspension, and the chassis, which are the main components that make up a motorcycle, are all identical to the CB500X. What they've done here is call it the NX500 to tug on our nostalgia strings, get eyeballs on the bike so it gets more attention. That is a fantastic move by Honda and no knock against them, but it needs to be called what it is. That is a typical example of a branding exercise. I do need to caveat that with, I still think this is a fantastic bike. Just because it is a branding exercise doesn't mean that this is a bad motorcycle. The CB500X and this refreshed NX500 looks to be and still is one of the best value small displacement adventure bikes on the market. So let's talk about what is different and the updates to this fantastic looking, in my opinion, NX500. So one of the big changes is weight loss. Yes, they've been able to shave 3 kilos off this bike, which is great to see. They've been able to save most of that weight from the wheels. Saving weight in unsprung mass theoretically leads to a better handling bike and a bike that can accelerate a little easier. So hopefully that is the outcome. The TFT screen is another nice addition. CBX500 dash was looking very, very tired towards the end. So this new screen is a great addition and makes this bike feel a hell of a lot more premium when you're in the saddle. I think the aesthetics of this bike, they've knocked it out of the park. This does not look like an affordable adventure bike at all. It looks like a purposeful, well-made adventure bike that I'd be happy to have in my garage and I think looks fantastic. But I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you like the design language of this NX500 or did you prefer the CB500X? Chuck your thoughts down below. Honda have also made tweaks to the ECU. They say this has resulted in better performance. Of course, the power figures haven't been affected. As I stated, the rest of the changes are basically immaterial. They're just nips and tucks and little differences here and there. I don't want to get bogged down in it and put you in a coma. So let's go into the what's not so great about the new NX500. So the not so great really isn't anything about the current bike, because I think the CB500X and this NX500, for what they are, is a fantastic adventure bike, particularly if you're wanting a value-focused adventure tourer. Really, you can't walk past this NX500. It's got all the features you would want in an affordable package. What I think the not so great here is the missed opportunity that Honda had. Calling it the NX500, they really had an opportunity to offer an additional model here with longer travel suspension and spoke wheels to keep ties with the old NX name and its dirt capability and make this more than a nostalgia grab. I think this would have been a massive hit. I also think people would be willing to pay a premium for those features too. Call it the NX500S, XR, whatever you want to call it. Charge a little more for those features and you're getting the whole market to yourself, because now Honda would have cornered the adventure tourer side of things as well as the more off-road interested people as well. So I think that is a big missed opportunity. But if I swing back to focusing on this bike as a value-focused adventure tourer, I really can't point out any failures of this bike. I think it is one of the best packages on the market. If you're looking for a value-orientated adventure tourer, the NX500 with all its refreshes, it's much better looks in my opinion, and that nice TFT screen and that drop in weight, what's not to love? It definitely should be at the top of your list. I'd love to know your thoughts. Are you excited for this new NX500? Are you disappointed that they didn't make a more off-road focused version? Let me know down below. As always, don't forget to stay shiny side up, and I'll see you in the next one.